Galileo, he tweeted it the other day. We're at war with China. There's three types of war. The Chinese look at it. Information.
Guys, I'm doing a video on Bannon. Okay, he wasn't on the list, but then I was gonna do this reading on the Koch brothers versus Trump, and then as I was doing a little bit of research on this, I saw that Bannon had said something about the Koch brothers. Okay, so I was looking for the video and I came across this, and as I'm watching it, it's scary, guys, because he's saying the whole thing, with the China, oh, we're at war with China and so forth. He's really, I don't know what the word I have is really, he's a dangerous person, okay? Because he's pushing, I almost feel like he's a very dangerous person, period, okay? And I feel like this whole thing with the war, it's like he's really, yeah, I mean, I'm not particularly scared in a way, right? I'm not saying this to be like, oh, he's so scary. I mean, he is a scary person in many ways. I feel like he is I don't use the word demonic, okay? Because he wants to create conflict. It's so obvious, right? So, and all of this would obviously benefit Russia. So it's so strange that he keeps pushing this stuff. And he's clearly pushing cryptocurrency, which is something that I haven't looked into this very much, and I don't know that I want to yet. But it's, something that is obviously connected to all of this stuff. Okay, so why is he? It's almost like he wants to create. He's saying Anyway, so, and I had said this, guys. It's so funny. One time, I forgot. I was replying to a comment, and someone asked about Bannon, and I said, Bannon is a horror movie. He's like the day you forget to take out your kitchen garbage, and it becomes a person. Like I think, but when I said that comment, when I wrote that comment, I was thinking of how he looks. But when he starts speaking, you realize that the real ugliness, the worst type of ugliness, is the inside. Okay, and you could see that he's just so deranged, very dangerous person, and he's almost convincing to people who aren't necessarily the most intelligent. He's very, he sounds very charming, he sounds very in control, he has a lot of information, but he twists information as a means to, like I said, create this sort of like a hate-filled reality, okay? So, oh my God, I was gonna joke around. Okay, I'm just gonna play a little bit for you guys.
War, economic war, and guns up, kinetic war. Been at economic war with us for 25 years. No great power in world history has ever looked away of their greatest threat and at the same time dissipated its energy on something. We spent $7 trillion. Brown University, the Watson Center, shown we spent $7 trillion in 17 years on this war on terror and the war in the Middle East, right, with very bad outcomes. And we've allowed the rise of China. In fact, many people in this room, the elites of our country, have exacerbated the rise.
So guys, wow, it's like I feel like it's hard to even say something, you know what I mean? Because it's so scary. Like I said, he's so misguided. He's not misguided, but he's really, it's funny. He reminds me of Jared in a way that he's kind of putting thoughts in people's ears. Okay, so clearly he's pushing Russia's agenda. Okay, because who would win from this? Russia. Okay. Russia will be strengthened if the U.S. were to, quote unquote, go to war, and that's why they're doing this. I don't understand. I mean, to me, this is so. The tariffs have already damaged so much of the Midwest, okay? And I think, I don't care who you are, I don't care what party you are, it's obvious, okay? So the fact that he's out there pushing these policies, this bullshit, that's only going to benefit Russia, to me, feels like he's yet another one of those. And it's strange, guys, because a while back, a few months ago, I did this reading on him, and it was kind of moving reading, actually. It was reading that talked about how he told them about everything he knows about Trump. But when I see this stuff, and I read about what he's doing in Europe, and I sort of like really skimmed over the news. I haven't read much because I'm not really that interested. It's too depressing. It feels that it's almost like he's worse than before, because his tentacles are spreading, okay? So And clearly, like I said, he's clearly all the positions he's pushing are would benefit Russia. Okay, so here's what I want to know is what is I had written here what's up with him, has he talked to Mueller, but what is the end game here? Okay, for Bannon. Okay, what is the end game? Okay, I have my cards here, guys. I don't know that this is a type of reading that I think you would be, because I think it would be a bit intense, okay, to use cards, and not necessarily, I feel like this story, the visions alone, I think would be enough to at least get started, okay? I could maybe look into it with cards later, but it's just it's really I feel like he's pushing the most destructive path. And what is the end goal? What is the end game here? So I'm gonna ask. I'm gonna have my pillow. Oh yeah. Anyway, so I have pillow. Oh yeah. So I'm gonna protect myself, because really, guys, this is real like heavy stuff. Okay. Just picturing this bubble of light protect. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Because I want to understand the situation. Okay, so, and I sense like that the universe or the spirits or whatever, there's more that they want to tell me that I'm not. I just want to get started with Bannon. Okay, so what is the end game here? That's how I start. Tell me about Bannon. It's interesting, guys. That really is showing me an image of him looking ahead, and he's looking at the dark, right? Almost like the end of the world. Like I think he really wants to create. Honestly, he's saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna go bring everything crashing down, man." It's showing that his plan is really to create so much chaos that everything comes crashing. Remember how and you have to give it to him. He was very honest. He said, "We want to bring the whole thing crashing down." That's what he wants. Okay, it's showing here that the goal, the agenda, is to bring all of the hate to the surface, all of the destructiveness, as much conflict as possible, so that the whole thing can come crashing down. Because he feels that his crew, whatever they are, whoever they are, have more power when there is as much chaos and destruction as possible. Okay. And the other thing I got here, but I have to say, is that I feel like he knows he's sick, and he's like, I have 2.5 years left to live, so I want to destroy the whole thing. He's saying, I don't know if this is true, I'm just getting this. Okay, so what the hell? Okay, and the other question, I have two questions that came at the same time. Is he some sort of, to me, he seems like a Russian agent, obviously, like really hardcore. And that's one question. Parallel to this question is, what the hell is he doing in Europe, right? Because he's pushing, for example, he's very active in Italy, which now has a fascist president. And obviously, as you know, Italy had Mussolini, so what the hell? What's going on with him? So this was actually quite very interesting. That it showed me that what's going on with him is that he's motivated by rage. So he's a person to whom anger is everything. So his rage is all about destruction. He's all about destruction, and he's saying, he's showing me him with the Italian guy, like, let's destroy everything. That's the goal: is to destroy things, not take things apart, but really destroy them. And this is the thing. He's really, like I said, but it's showing me, guys, that the anger that he has in himself, against himself, or he has not. It's showing me, guys. It's giving me this rage that is so unresolved. Okay, and it's showing me here several women. I think it's the ex-wives that he had used them as little, you know, he has beaten up ex-wives. So he's beaten up these women, okay, and he's used them as punching bags, okay. Oh, the lights. So hello, hello, how are you today? Hello, I'm here. Oh my God! At least you know it's still. Hi guys, so I'm back. I stopped the other video and I'm back. The lights went out and everything. I was just talking about Bannon. He's very lightweight. Oh yeah. So anyway, guys, as I was saying before I close my eyes again, I was saying that he's motivated by rage, right? So and then I saw these things related to his ex-wives, and that he used them as literal punching bags, unfortunately, and that he can't move beyond the darkness. That he really is, you know, his goal or his duty in some way was to examine the source of rage and to grow beyond that, but he's unable to. He feels that he's with anger. So the same anger that he's putting out in the world, that he has used against his wives, is going to eat him alive. It's already eating him alive. So I feel like, guys, it's almost like, it's so interesting. I feel like there's an acid liquid. It's so strange, right? Because I see it. It's almost like, I don't know if it's, they call it bile or whatever. But it's almost like a corrosive acid that is destroying his body from the inside, is the rage, okay, that he has. And it's like this, it's not just violence, but it's manipulation. There's one thing, for example, it's a person who has a hard time controlling themselves. It's beyond, it's more, it's just very caustic. So it's exactly, remember guys, I forgot, I think it was a reading I did yesterday for you guys, that showed the whole thing with it was a reading about the future of voter fraud, voter manipulation and stuff. It showed that the Republicans, right, they're putting out fires, and in one of these fires they burned themselves. So it's similar to Bannon, but Bannon is an internal process. It's like it really destroys him from the inside, okay, physically. So it's almost like, because, like I said, the rage didn't have a room to get out, then it started burning inside, okay? He couldn't deal with it. So anyway, so this is it. It's like his agenda is he's really like an acid, okay? So for whatever, these acids that, so because I watch Forensic Files. Oh yeah. So there's one episode where somebody used one of these acids to dissolve a body or something like that. I don't know, guys. It's kind of crazy. So it's really nice, very ballistic. So there's Bannon. Oh yeah. He's really like, it's showing. This is what it's showing, guys. It's like for him, and it's showing that the solution that he sees has to do with exploding the rage. Like the rage that he feels, it's like it doesn't have a way out. So the way that he feels the rage would be justified is when he meets the goal, which is destruction. Okay, so that's that. Okay, so what else? And I feel like he's bought into every policy and everything that is destructive, and it includes, and I feel like, guys, and I'm gonna say this, and don't be, and this is just, I'm just discussing what he wants, what's his agenda, what's the end game. I'm not saying this is going to happen, but I'm saying this is what he wants. And I feel like the whole thing with, it's showing me here now, the thing with cryptocurrency is that he wants to, again, control, manipulate, and crash the banking. He wants destruction, to crashing the banking system if possible, doing all these things. It's like, and I show you, this goes back to the first image I saw, which is him. He was driving, there was something where there's like a black wall in front. He's driving, or he's going head against the dark, okay, in the sense that he wants to create. It's like it's kamikaze, okay? But kamikaze, for, as you probably know, kamikaze, Japanese World War II pilots that sacrificed their lives when they were soldiers, right? But Bannon, he wants to destroy people. Not that, it's like, it's not there's nothing honorable about it. It's just destructive. So you see what I mean? It's almost like he has a degree of analytical intelligence that allows him to weaponize ideas, okay? And he wants to create, like I said, the whole thing with the currency that he's pushing is weaponized. It's all about weaponizing, manipulating, and destroying. So, and I feel like, so that's it. But don't worry. And I was like, I know people are going to be worried about this. And no, don't be worried, because I feel like this whole thing is actually the fact that I can even talk about it is because I feel like I'm protected. Okay, so and I see him, guys. He really is at the sewer. He's like a rat at the sewer. If we can see it in a kind of like a earthly level, it's really the lowest. That he really just wants to live in the dark and to destroy everything. And I feel like he's in pain. And I've seen this before about him. You know, there's several. I think he has multiple. He has cancer, maybe somewhere, and there's other. There's definitely either he also has hepatitis. I mean, there's just something, a couple of things happening. Okay, in terms of his health, that are very bad. Okay, so all right, so that's that. You see that he, like I said, this whole whatever he's saying, it's all about destruction. He has no real. He has no real goal of like the only thing he wants to accomplish is destruction, just so it's clear. Okay, all right, so okay, I understand his agenda. So what is okay, is he, what the hell is it, what is his role in this whole Russia conspiracy thing? Yeah, it's showing he's putting a fire on Trump. You know, he ignites Trump. Okay, so he's like, he knows he drank all the Russian Kool-Aid. He loves that guy, Alexander Durgin is showing. He drank the full Kool-Aid. He's showing him drunk too. That the Russians have used him, know that he was drunk and given drinks and stuff. Okay, so yeah, he's very, you know, extremist. The whole thing with the anti-Muslim and so forth. And the whole quote-unquote Christian, right? Because it's quote-unquote Christian. If you really were a Christian, you don't want to destroy things, but whatever. So he found, you know, that just defies the rage. Because the whole thing is that it's almost like the rage is this animal, guys, and it's, oof. Go away, go away. I'm fine, go away. Go away. I'm not scared. Go away. Guys, this was like, whoa. I'm not scared. I'm not scared. I don't care. I have the light around me. Guys, seriously, when I looked at Bannon, and I was talking about the rage, right? I saw it reminded me of horror movies when you see those demon creatures. That's what I felt. That's what I saw. Like this really raging demonic energy, honestly. And I'm not saying, guys, you know, this is just, it does not have to be a religious thing or whatever, but it really was like this rage that it has no logic, and it's very, it doesn't want to speak. Okay, it's hard to explain it. So it's something that is almost like it's a substance. It's abstract. You know, you see the face is like kind of like looks like a monster, but what this energy is something that it sits below the surface, and it doesn't have a justification. So it searches for something to cling on to as a means to create the justification. So that's what I pushed away, because it's like kind of, I'm like, no, I'm not scared. I have light around me. No, I'm not scared of you. Seriously, guys, it's kind of like, oof. So anyway, wow. So, okay, I understand Bannon. Okay, so let's go back to the question, which was the whole thing about, so what is his role here with Trump? Yeah, it's like he's, you know, guys, it's, if you think about it, I think Trump, whatever, he's some sort of Lucifer child, whatever he is, I don't know, right? He's, again, another hater, another real, way beyond a hater, right? He wants to create chaos and destruction as well. But I feel like Bannon, it's almost like he's a higher level of evil than Trump in some ways. Okay, because Trump lacks self-awareness and self-control. Bannon, in a way, does too, but he's more manipulative. He lives in the head a bit more. Trump is more of a, what's the word? An animal. Okay, so I feel like he triggers Trump even more, puts fire on the thing. Okay, what is the role here? Extremism. Got it. Okay. He's all about igniting extremism. He's all about pushing extremism. He wants extremist. Yes, but it's like, it's, now as I understand, guys, it's like he feels, you know, his energy and his essence is like this devil-esque hatred creature. So he wants to make that. And, you know, it's interesting, guys. I'm not necessarily a critical religious person, right? But I see, this reminds me of when people say, the whole, the demons or whatever. It's like him. Okay, this whole thing is like bringing out the worst, bringing out the dark, and one, it's like, and it's showing guys. There's one reading, I think it was a reading about the vision, dark versus light. Okay, and I feel like it showed me here that these people, they wanted to bring darkness to the world, like in every sense of the word. Like I said, they wanted to cast out the light. Okay, and it's really their goal. Like I said, the darkness that he wanted to create, that Bannon wanted to create, and Trump wants to. It's like kicking everything down, destruction, really, real destruction, real terror, real chaos. So what this is showing, guys, what is very interesting is that, again, Bannon is very connected to this darker energy. Like I feel like Trump sometimes is almost, he is when somebody's like a child, sometimes he's aware or not aware, but Bannon is highly present. He's very in there, that space. Okay, so he wants to create darkness, bring darkness out from the sewer. Like, the sewer is your new home. The world is no longer a bit of a house. No, it's sewer everywhere. Oh yeah, that's me, Bannon. I like it. I'm a rat. So I have to, I have to make a little joke or something because we're light. So anyway, so that's that, guys. This is his goal, okay? And I think, like I said, this is the agenda. This is the extremism pushing, and it's showing that he has a facility and a gift to focus hatred into, like, it's either the scapegoating, but it's again provoking the rage and focusing the rage and creating separation and all those things. It's almost like he's the MBA of evil. Steve Bannon, I am the MBA of evil. Oh yeah. Would you like to try my liver? It looks great. So anyway, because he's all about execution, right? So he's a strategist, right? So he executes evil plans. Oh yeah, I don't just think about it. I do make it happen in the world. Oh yeah. So, all right. Okay, so wow. Guys, it's interesting. I have to like unpack, go through different levels of, hell or whatever. Okay. So I understand that the whole thing with destruction, I feel like he has, yeah. Yeah, and I feel like he's already sold himself a while ago. Okay, the whole thing with, I feel like he wants, like I said, he wants destruction, and he feels like the Russians get it. Okay, they get it that they have to create, this world, an environment of hatred and, like I said, destruction. So, okay, so what? Yeah, and I feel like the whole thing, going back to him being sort of colonized mentally by the Alexander Durgin, the ideas of extremism and sort of a ultra right. Okay, which is like they say they're Catholic. Like I said, they're not. They want to cling to a system that will be somewhat palatable to regular lower level far right people. Okay, that he can recruit. Okay, so all right. Okay, so next step is okay. So I know that he broke with Trump and he said those things about treason. I feel like it's all bullshit from what I'm seeing here. He's just as involved as before. So what? Okay, what has he told Mueller? Because he had an interview, and I have to do a refresher on this because I roughly know what, I think I'm now remembering Jared and Ivanka, but what is he doing? What did he tell Mueller, and what does Mueller know about him? What is what evidence does Mueller have about Bannon, and also what Bannon told Mueller? Interesting, guys. So this is, oh wow, very interesting right away. It showed that Bannon prides himself in being an quote unquote intellectual and in being the idea person, the manipulator. He could be wearing flip-flops or a t-shirt or a suit. He doesn't really care about money necessarily. Okay? But Jared is all about the cash. I'm Jared. I'm here to collect. Oh yeah. You want to do evil? Well, you gotta pay me first. Oh yeah. Don't you think Bannon looks a little sloppy? Yeah, because you have to pay me first. Yeah, that's what happens, okay? So anyway, so I think he resented how Jared is showing Jared, not showing because it's really showing Jared, is showing how he resented Jared exploiting the connections to milk the connections for money because he was desperate and debt, okay? And he has contempt for Jared. He knows he's told Jared and everything. So this is what he tells Mueller about the money. Because he's saying, Bannon actually believes all the stuff he's, globalists, whatever, all this bullshit he says. It's all he's essentially a vehicle for Russian propaganda. He doesn't create this. This is what's interesting about him, is that he is an aggregator of all these far right theories, but he doesn't necessarily create them. Okay, so anyway, so it's showing, like I said, that he tells Mueller about how Jared exploited these connections far and showed me very much Saudi Arabia, some Russia, but very much Saudi Arabia, and told him how the money thing happened. Okay. And he is telling Mueller that it's like, well, but I am pure. I really believed in this. I'm doing this because it's the ideology that I believe in, okay? Okay, so what is the evidence that Mueller has about Bannon being guilty or not? It's showing a connection to, what's his name? Mercer. He's very close to Mercer, showing that, yeah, I guess, this is showing the past because I know they're supposedly not that close anymore, but okay, so the past is like very close to Mercer and architecting this plan. I think it's showing that him and Mercer were closely together. They almost like they were the person who made it happen. Almost like, it sounds like a funny thing to say, but they were the event planners, okay? So they got everybody together, they put everybody on schedule, they knew this has to happen, so they were the organizers. Okay, so, but how does that translate into evidence? Financial transfers, the connection of, guys, this is very interesting, the image they gave me was, how, for example, if you're, when you see news about whatever terrorist organizations, you have sometimes the org chart, and it's showing that Mercer and Bannon are kind of like on the same level, or maybe he's below Mercer, but it's showing, the image is showing that Bannon is like a terrorist, okay, because he's, like I said, he's, for example, you read stuff about, like, I remember after 9/11, this person talked to this person, they organized this, they transferred the money, this, and I feel like it's kind of similar. What Bannon did was he enabled a lot of things. He was both an aggregator, a connector, and an executor. Okay, so he knows about the talking points, but he knows how to have people execute things. He knows how to he's a strategist. Okay, so this makes sense. Okay. So is it talk to Trump now? No, Trump doesn't forgive him. He feels that Bannon wanted the limelight. Bannon wanted everything for himself. He didn't know how to share. He didn't know how to, Trump thinks, he didn't know how to give Trump credit. Sorry, something was buzzing here. So anyway, so yeah, so I feel like he was sort of cast out of this, but he still is still the architect of all of this, okay? Okay, so now I got the full picture. So what happens to Bannon next as a result of the Mueller investigation? I know he's talked about Jared, he had given information about Jared, but what happens to him next as a result of the Mueller? Is he going to be indicted? What's the deal? So kind of interesting, guys. Weird. It's like I saw this. Okay, so I saw that Mueller and the FBI, they're tracking him down even in Europe. All these countries are tracking him down there. They're recording communication. I see a lot of chaos around him, not just because he's a chaos agent, right? But because stuff's gonna happen quickly. So the sense I got about him, and I don't know how this is possible. I feel like, yeah, like I said, I don't know how this is possible, but I feel like it's possible that he could be indicted away from the US, and that he may be in a country that has an extradition treaty with the US. But I feel like it's gonna be a while before he can be extradited, and he may be, like I said, he may be so sick that he could die maybe in this other country. I don't know where. It's in Europe, I think. So, okay, so just explaining, I feel like all this stuff is happening, okay, and something happens. There's all these indictments. I feel like from his perspective, he's suddenly there's a big change, okay, that he wasn't expecting, and it's these indictments are hardcore, and he has to run, okay. I feel like, and I think his name probably is going to be in there somehow. And Mueller's confident about it because he's been under surveillance, so he's arrested pretty immediately, okay. And the CIA, oh wow, because if the CIA is abroad, right? I think so. The CIA may arrest him and stuff, or passed on to the CIA and stuff. So eventually, right? So once the whole thing, the indictments fall, there's gonna be, oh my God, oh again, oh yeah, it's very nice, very uplifting. Oh yeah, oh my God. So, hello, you have to stop so annoying. Okay. So anyway, going back here, talking about Bannon. Like I said, I was saying when the indictments fall, he feels like he has to run, but he's been under surveillance. They know where he is, and he was probably speaking in some conference. He wasn't aware this was coming, and I feel like he sees Morse's name. I feel like I said, something very. It reminds me of these movies when you see. I know from Brazilian history when there was a military dictatorship and those things, things change from day to night. That kind of feeling, okay, where suddenly his name is on the list. So, and it's not, it's just because it's like obviously he's involved in all of this and he knows a lot, and he was destructive in every way. So I think like I said, I think he's in Europe, and I think he's going to be under arrest for a while, and he's sick. That's the thing. Like I said, I feel like he knows he's sick and he's not treating himself. He's not getting treatment. Okay, he looks a little better because I'm looking at his image here. I think he was still suntan, but he's sick. So I feel like there's going to be a little while before he comes to the U.S. And I feel like I just feel like there's a bad ending for him. Okay, I don't know that he dies in the U.S., but I feel like he could be even killed in prison, something like that, okay? Because like I said, he knows a lot in Europe, and Europe, there, Russians have much more power there to whatever kill. I'm not saying, that he's going to be killed by the, but I see him dead, like on the ground, like either I don't know. There's something where his ending is sort of unexpected. Okay, I don't know if he's going to die of the disease, but either way, I think once the indictments roll down, he's not going to escape. Because he's seen as a person of importance, because he enjoys, if you think about it, guys, and I know it sounds harsh what I'm going to say, but what these people are doing is pretty scary. It's only the beginning, because like I said, I saw his goal. His goal is destruction. It's not to say, oh, let's have, a right-wing government. No, it's saying we're going to, be all about hatred. We're going to destroy people. We're going to create these, for example, the Muslim ban, it was his idea and stuff like that, those kinds of things, okay? It's like we want to create, first you create these things and then you start it. I don't doubt, guys, seriously. So this is why, okay, there's like a lot of, anyway, I feel like everybody knows that this is just a step. It's almost like, I think his agenda is far darker than a lot of the far right people. Normal, almost like if you think of like normal, quote unquote, right wing Republicans, this is far, far worse. Okay, it really is Nazi-esque, their dreams and goals. Okay, so that's what I think. I think things, and and like I said, I got this sense that out of nowhere, seemingly, things turn from day to night for him, and it's over. Because, like I said, I've said before, guys, it's almost like someone mentioned this, it's like a whale. When you have this, it's a classic in children's cartoons or children's illustration. The kids were somewhere, and then the whale comes up, and you realize it's a huge whale. The whale is cute or whatever, but in this case, the whale is the Mueller investigation. It's like a gigantic thing that has so many tentacles, and once it reveals itself, we are like tiny compared to the whale. You know what I mean? Similar to this. Suddenly, everything is revealed, and boom, they catch. So that's what I think. Okay, and I think it's sudden, the whole thing with him. And I think, okay, so what are they going to do with his testimony about Jared? They think, okay, it was helpful what he gave, the information he gave about Jared, but I feel like it's not enough to get him off the hook, okay? Yeah, I feel like he's not, that's not enough to save him, okay? So I feel like Mueller has evidence about Jared in many other ways that are much more. I think he sees Bannon's testimony as corroborating the story, but not necessarily not necessarily the case where it's not like Bannon gives him incredible evidence. No, he tells him stories or he talks about things, but he doesn't produce documents that are particularly relevant. Okay, he may talk about these meetings and so forth, but like I said, it's all, I think, in many ways circumstantial. So that's what I think, guys. Wow. Yeah, but I think it's like he is corroded by his own venom, right? He drinks his own poison, kind of thing. So, oof, that was very exciting. Oh yeah. So that's that. That's Bannon. And the other last question I have, I remember doing this reading where he was talking to his daughters and he was saying goodbye. And what happened to that? Because it seemed like maybe, what was that? What was up with that? I felt like then he was talking to Mueller. He was telling everything he knew. How come I saw that, but I don't? I see something different now. You saw part of it. You saw the time he was talking to Mueller, so it was just part of it. But there's a lot more. Yeah, I don't think that I feel like then I saw something a bit more benevolent about him, or like he recognized what he had done. But no, I think now it's like all the way till the end here. Okay. And what was this conversation he was saying, like Trump committed treason and that was treason, that this was treason, that was treason? What's the deal here? How come he talks like that? But obviously he's, he lets the Russians do whatever they want. What's the deal? Oh, he feels that Trump was he's not on the same level as they were. He thinks that he is on par with them because he's not needing their money necessarily. Not the way Trump did. Trump sold himself to them as like a prostitute, right? His services are for hire. He's a freelancer, right? He's like, okay, you give me money, I'll do whatever policy you want. So this is why. Okay, so that's that. Okay, guys, so this explains. It was very exciting, very cute. Yeah, no, it's so depressing. So anyway, so that's it, guys. I'm gonna stop here. Oh yeah. Okay. All right.